이제 지금부터 코리아국제포럼 첫날 토론을 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 여러분 아시다시피 오늘의 주제는 노동자, 농민, 청년학생, 여성의 정치세력화와 그리고 진보정당의 혁신과 통합입니다. 오늘 진행 순서를 간략하게 먼저 말씀을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 맨 먼저 여기 단상에 계시는 발표자분들 7분의 발표를 먼저 듣겠습니다. 발표는 각 10분 정도 해서 10분 안에 발표를 해 주시고요. 그리고 곧 이어서 플로어에 계시는 외국인 토론자분의 발표를 듣도록 하겠습니다. 토론자 발표를 듣고 30분간 휴식을 하고요. 그리고 곧 이어서 내국인 국내 토론자분들의 발표를 하도록 하겠습니다. 토론자분들의 발표는 각 5분씩 이렇게 토론을 하도록 하겠습니다. 그리고 국내외 토론이 끝나면 중간에 4분의 좌담회가 있습니다. 베나드 까상, 그리고 하이트 선생님, 그리고 정성희, 그리고 공계진 소장님, 이렇게 4분의 좌담을 진행하고 이어서 여러분들과 함께하는 토론의 시간을 함께 질의응답과 토론의 시간을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 자, 그러면 우선 맨 먼저 발표를 해주실 분들을 간단하게 소개를 해드리겠습니다. 한 분 한 분 소개시킬 때마다 큰 박수로 맞이해 주시기 바랍니다. 예, 옆에 클라우디아 하이트, 독일 출신이고 유럽 좌파당 집행위원회 위원이시고 군사정보센터 전 대표이십니다. 예, 박수 좀 쳐주시죠. 네. 그리고 경찰된 프랑스 출신이시고 소르본대 철학과 교수이시고 근대사상구조 역사센터 디렉터이고 21세기 막스 컨퍼런스 조직자이십니다. 그리고 로자 마리아 마르케 브라질 출신이시고 상파울로 카톨릭대 경제학부장이시며 무토지 소유운동 자문위원이시며 정치경제학의 브라질 사회 대표를 맡고 계십니다. 그리고 옆에 계시는 공계진 금속노조 노동연구원 원장이십니다. 그리고 한준혜 민주노동당 충남도당 전 사무처장을 맡으셨고 공생공소 농민장터 연구회 회장을 맡고 계시며 충청남도 정책자문위원을 맡고 계십니다. 그리고 정경필 21세기 한국대학생연합 의장을 맡고 계십니다.
와!
그리고 지금 아직 도착을 못하셨는데요. 소통과 혁신연구소 정성희 소장님께서 곧이어 도착하실 겁니다. 예, 그러면 소개를 마쳤는데요. 곧바로 클라우디아 하이트, 주제와 관련한 클라우디아 하이트 선생님의 발제를 듣도록 하겠습니다.
Thank you. And thank you all for inviting me to Korea. Thank you to the Paris Forum for giving me the chance to speak here. The establishment of political power is a difficult question, especially if you are part of more progressive political people and if you come more from the left than the mainstream. So what I'm going to talk about is the history of the left party in Germany. And maybe some of you know about it. The history of the left party in Germany cannot be discussed without discussing the unification of Germany. The political landscape in Germany is dominated by many parties, but all of them are parties which have been established in the West. Our Social Democrats, our Greens, our Liberals, also the Conservatives, Christian Democrats, they are all parties which have been established in the West. And after unification, they expanded to the East. And the only party with roots in the East of the country is the Left Party. Maybe you know that after unification, the former state party, SED, transformed itself into a party of democratic socialism. It was an important step, but to keep those members of the former state party who had still the idea to keep to hold on to the ideology, but to find a new and democratic way, to implement socialism in a modern and progressive society. And it was very hard to have this idea coming from the East as an idea in a whole Germany, in a unified Germany. And therefore the PDS, this new left party, more or less only had a success in the East. And in the West, the election results had been around 1%, if they were lucky. If not, it was only 0.5%. And in the East, the election results were around 30%. If it was bad, it was 25%. So the PDS, this left party coming from the East, was only successful in the East. And it looked like with people getting older after unification and the young people being socialized into this new unified Germany, this party would lose members, would lose influence, and would die after some time. But fortunately or unfortunately, the social situation in Germany became rather difficult. Because I have to admit that in Germany, for people East and West, there has been many heartaches with coming with the division, but also at least some side effects which have been positive, especially for the West. Of course, the West always lived in a situation of competition of systems, and as the East had a rather good healthcare system and a rather good education system, it was very clear in the West in Germany that education, even higher education, had to be free. We didn't have to pay any fees to study, we didn't have to pay any fees for healthcare. So it was this situation of competition that made the social life in the West much easier than in other capitalistic countries. So in short, we profited from this competition, but after the competition stopped, because we had a unified Germany, the situation drastically changed. In some university, the fees did get introduced at first, and when they did get higher. In healthcare, we had to start to pay for some things, and at the same time, the wages of people did get lower and lower and lower. So people had to pay for more, and they did have less to spend on it. And this social situation made it clear for many people in the West that the Social Democrats didn't have an answer for this. They more or less even introduced or helped to bring forward this situation and make it even worse. And also in the Green Party, I have to admit, I was a member of the Green Party, the amount of members with a social consciousness was very low. So the Reds and the Greens even implemented one of our harshest social legislation. And therefore, some of the members of the Social Democrats who've been in the left wing of the party created a new party. They split a party called Alternative for Social Justice. This party was led, maybe some of you know him, by Oscar Lafontaine, one of our leading Social Democrats, but one of the left-wing Social Democrats. And together with this new movement in the West and the old party in the East, we managed to find a united left, which in the last elections had really a great success, at least in the context of what's possible in Germany, with nearly 14% of the vote. And this was only possible because the media had been on our side. At least they didn't oppose us, which is more or less for them to be on our side. But after we had this success, now we have to deal with media which is very much against us. And we also have to deal with a situation where Germany is the only country in all of the European Union zone which is economically more or less successful. And it's like the eye of a storm. Maybe it relates to the weather just now. But you know, this eye can move. Where it's just quiet in the eye of the storm, it can be at another place at another time. So we have to be careful that it's going to surely going to be worse in Germany also. But people think we are lucky, and we are lucky because we have maybe a government which is not so bad, so better be quiet. Don't ask any extravagant social help or something like this, because all of the other people are worse off than we. So this is a difficult situation, and maybe I can talk something later about our internal problems to unify different parts of Germany inside one left party. But the most important thing is that 1 year ago it looked like our party would split inside. But most of the people did realize that it is absolutely necessary to have one party which speaks for those people who have no job, which have low wages, which have low pensions. And this necessity did bring people together in our last party congress to elect a new leadership and to finally concentrate again on this social agenda. And also, maybe I have time later to explain about it, also about the agenda of peace. Because in Germany, just let me finish with this, the idea of defense has been totally perverted. We are no longer talking about defense and armed forces for defense in Germany. Our armed forces are no longer able to defend our country because they've been restructured. They are able to intervene in foreign countries. They are able to go to Afghanistan and defend so-called German interests wherever they think it's necessary. But they've become a kind of, a tool to project German interests everywhere in the world. It costs lots of money we would use desperately for other things, and it makes the world a much unsafer place because it creates tensions. But it doesn't help people in Germany and everywhere also. So this is a thing which has totally changed. Germany, at least in the last 50 years, didn't have an army which was deployed anywhere else in the world. But since 15, 16 years now, we have totally restructured army, which is totally focused on attacking and not on defending. And I think this is a very bad thing, especially coming from Germany. And it is quite necessary to change this, to find a more peaceful agenda and a social agenda. Thank you.